Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WSC Computing. This evening, I'll be running through a short PowerPoint presentation just to cover some of the key issues. And then at the end of the presentation, if you'd like to ask any questions, I'll be available until whatever time the questions dry up, hopefully before the whiskey dries up. Okay, so the OCR Level 3 Information Technology is a 2-year course. It's ideal for anybody interested in a career in IT, computing. Essentially, the course is designed to give you a broad understanding of everything that you could possibly want to do in computing terms. So we'll cover the hardware issues, we'll cover the global information, cyber security, computer networks, a little bit of project management you can see in there, product development, mobile technology, and obviously things like the Internet of Things, which are becoming more and more prevalent as time goes by. And that's things like your Hive at home, where you can control your central heating, or amusingly turn off the central heating in some rooms of the house if you want to annoy people in the same building. So it's essentially a 2-year course. It's worth 3 A levels, and it will give you the opportunity to go to university or into industry placements or into jobs with training, apprenticeships, level 2 or level 3. Essentially the whole range of everything that you might want to do. And it's key because this does give you a very broad spectrum of units and abilities, and it then gives you the choice at the end of it to decide to specialise in one direction or another. So there will be a mix, as it said there, of internally assessed units and externally assessed exams on this course. And the course is strong, it's portable, it's designed to give you a wide spectrum of opportunities at the end of it and not narrow you down to one particular theme. It's very broad-based, as I've already said. It's got a proven success over many years. We've been teaching this course or a similar course at the college for very many years. And we've, I would say, in the 22 years I've been doing it, we've probably had thousands of success stories come from this course. It has proven itself to be a really good portal into a great career. You will be taught by very professional staff who've all got expertise in certain areas of computing. Throughout the course, you'll be expected to do work placements. It'll give you the opportunity to get used to working in business. It'll give you possibly a toe in the door for some companies locally if you decide that you'd like to do work at the end of the course. We'll inflict visiting speakers on you and trips to various amusing and interesting places. We go to EGX, which is the big gaming conference, COVID allowing. We have external speakers from places like Amazon, possibly Microsoft, and a range of other employers locally that will try to get in, again, COVID allowing. And what we're trying to do basically is give every student who comes through the opportunity to understand what it's going to be like once they finish college and what they'll need to do then. Throughout the course, there's oodles of personal support, and we're all there to make sure the one thing that everybody does is complete and pass the course and is successful in the future. Career pathways for level 3. Well, generally speaking, the average is probably 50 to 60% of the students progress to university at the end of the course. Another 45% generally moving into work with training. So it's an enormous opportunity, and there are a huge number of jobs out there for people who want to be in IT. If you are male or female, there's just an absolute abundance of work. It means this course is just a no-brainer for very many people. If you have some interest in computing, then why not go for a career that's going to give you a quiet, dry, clean environment to work in most of the time? That'll interest you. That gives you possibly a better opportunity at a higher wage for the rest of your life. Absolute no-brainer. We have endless links with local employers through work placement to strengthen the opportunities that you'll have. But as you can see there, software engineer, network technician, cybersecurity, IT project management, not many people think of that one, digital graphics, IT technician, business analyst, web developers and designers, network administrators, software engineers. The whole range of people are covered in a course like this, because it is everything in computing. If you want to program for the rest of your life, then we will by default teach you 2 or 3 different programming languages as you're going through the course. You get that opportunity to develop your networking skills or understand every aspect of the course. Few student successes. We did try to put some videos together, but we struggled to get them to work properly, and I don't want to put something up that looked a bit tatty. So arranged there that you can see Joe, who went to Bournemouth to do cybersecurity, completed with a first after being at the college, and then went on to work with BT in the cybersecurity unit. He's considering consultancy and does regular visits to conferences as a speaker. Simon completed the level 3 computing course and was successful in his application to SAP, one of the largest software developers in the world, if you are interested in software development. Charlie's a current student who works with EST&M, providing reviews of video games, essentially esports, that is very well respected for his work in this industry, probably where he's going to go after this. Matthew was a student who, upon completion of the course, went off to start his own business in Bury. He now employs more than 50 people and provides IT services for clients internationally. So the scope and the opportunities are there. We can lead you through this. We can make sure that you have the best opportunities. And if you make use of that and you do the work and you get the grades, then ultimately you've got every opportunity to go on and have a great career and earn something with your life. There's a little bit of information at the end of it. That's our phone number. You can phone the general information line on info@wsc.ac.uk. You can apply online at wsc.ac.uk, or if you want some better information, contact me, peter.harbron@wsc.ac.uk. And if you haven't got a question answered tonight, I'm quite happy to answer them, help you, whatever you need. Okay, I think that opens it up for questions now. And I need to see them. Okay, starting at the top. The entry requirements are 5 GCSEs, at least with maths and English at grade 4. So 5 GCSEs, including maths and English at grade 4 or better. Yes, does the college help me find work placements? Yes, we will help you. We've got a range of employers on the books and we do try to place people. Obviously, it's been tough this year, but hopefully in the future, things will settle down. We will be able to help you out. We do say, however, that if you've got, say, if you're living in Haverhill or if you're living in Thetford, one of the outskirts towns or villages, have a look locally yourself to see if there's somewhere that you won't have to travel too far to do your work experience at. So have a look in the papers, have a look locally, ask around, see if you can get some work placement near your house. There's a range of them. I don't have a list of the local employers that we work with at hand. That's dealt with by a separate department we have in a college that works with us and with the students to try and place you with a range of employers. But I believe there are hundreds that they've got in touch with and they've got contacts with, so it should be something for everybody. I want to become a software engineer. Is this the right course for you? Yes, it is. Sign up now. You'll never regret it. We've had endless software engineers go through the course and you will find it satisfying. We can stretch you. We'll provide stuff that'll make it go a little bit better for you, and hopefully at the end of it you can go and do a degree either with us or at a separate university and move on, as one of the previous examples of a student did, get a job with SAP or similar. I really want to go into games design. Is this a good basis? There are a number of games design routes in the college. When we previously asked game design companies, they wanted people who had a well-rounded computing understanding and knowledge. They didn't just want people who could draw graphics or people who could work in one or two of the tools that are used within game design. They wanted people who knew how computing worked, how networking worked, because actually they can take you on with those skills and teach you anything they need you to learn on the job. So yes, it is good for games design, but there is also a separate games design course that's run by the art department, and you might want to look at that as well. But it just depends where you see yourself going. Esports is what you see all over the place now. It is a multi-billion-pound industry by all accounts, and it's essentially video game commentary and playing video games in competitions. So you're looking at the esports side of things. Those are the people who are doing the shoutcasting, who are doing all of the videos online about how to play the best weapons in the best way and the best formats on the games. That's esports. What facilities do you have at the college? We've got everything. We've got computers, which is really handy on a computing course. We've got touch whiteboard screens. We've got all the networking. We've got labs. We've got decent spec computers with good monitors in many of the rooms for the graphics work. We cover just about everything that you could possibly want, and hopefully if you sign up for the course you'll get an opportunity as the schools start to open to come in and have a look around and have a bit of a tour of the facilities. What's the difference between college and sixth form? Oh, crikey. Okay, if you want a career in IT, if you want to do computing as a career, then come to college, because ultimately you will get a 3 A-level equivalent qualification from us that you can take to almost any university in the country and get your degree and move on from there. But you will have done computing at level 3 solidly for 2 years and not done 1 A-level of maybe ICT or computer science and 1 psychology and 1 looking after pigeons and whatever else that you might have to do as part of the sixth form curriculum. If you're just interested in computing and you want to do computing, University of East London once told me that generally speaking our students arrive there about a year ahead of the sixth form students, simply because they've done more IT. So if you're going to do an IT degree, we're ideal. If you want to leave your options absolutely wide open, or you are an A-star student, if you are an absolute rock solid A-star student and you're going to get 4 A-levels at A-star, then go to sixth form and maybe go to Oxford or Cambridge. But other than that, if you want to do computing, come to us. The course is assessed through assignment work, which you do in college and we mark as lecturers. And as I said in the presentation, we have a number of units, about 4 units, that are externally assessed through the exam board. That may change and vary depending on the structure of the course that you come into, but generally speaking, there are about 4 examined externally assessed units and the rest are all internally assessed through assignments. So you get pass criteria, merit criteria and distinction criteria. And if you get all the passes, you get a pass. If you get all the passes and all the merits, you get a merit. And I'll leave you to guess how you get a distinction. So that's the assessment of it. You'll do the coursework and then generally speaking, you do assignments to prove that you've understood the coursework. How much of the course is practical? Quite a bit, actually. I mean, it depends on your scope of practical, but networking will be a practical thing. There is theory and there is actually building networks and wiring them up. Your programming units and whatever else are quite practical because you are actually doing the programming. within whatever you're doing. The graphics modules are quite practical because you have to produce the graphics. You do a lot of work like that. So there is quite a lot of practical stuff there. However, it is an A-level standard course and there will be theory. You do have to write a lot of reports and assignments and produce decent quality work to get through it. So quite a lot of practical, quite a lot of doing things in it, but you also have to come up with the theory and the actual report writing work to prove you know what you're doing. Okay, what happens if I don't get my maths? Get your maths. That's it. If you don't get maths, then generally speaking, computing course, the extended computing won't take you because you need maths. So I would, under all circumstances, say to you, do every single extra bit of maths you can. Do evenings, do extra courses. If they're putting it on at lunchtime, sit with your meal and do maths. Do maths wherever you can possibly do maths without making a mess. And enjoy the maths and learn the maths and make sure you get that 4. That's what you need to do for the next few months. Just make sure you get the 4. If you got 8 GCSEs at 4 or better and one of them wasn't maths, I would be willing to have a chat with you. So make sure you get the maths, make sure you get your English, make sure you get 3 others at 4 or better. Is it a full-time course? Yes, but the meaning of full-time has changed considerably over the years, and now full-time is 3 days a week. So you are, as a full-time student, in 3 days a week from about 9:15 to about 4:30 in the afternoon. It's not too onerous, and you should find that actually, because of the way it's set up and the way the timetables are designed, it mixes the subjects up quite nicely throughout the week and you'll quite enjoy it. But that is full-time, 3 days a week, about 30-ish weeks a year. Do I have to come for an interview? No, we will give you a phone interview. You'll hear the ringing and have my dulcet tones across the phone line, chatting and finding out all about you and why you want to come on computing. So if you apply, I will give you a call as your interview. Is there much homework? Yeah, there's a fair amount of homework. It depends how successful you want to be. There's loads of homework if you want to be a distinction student. There's less homework if you don't want to be a distinction student. But I would hope anyone who wants to come on the course wants to be a distinction student, because ultimately that's the way you're going to be successful for the rest of your life. So yes, there will be some homework. Doing assignments and things like that is homework. You will be expected to do it. Do we need to buy any specialist equipment on the course? No, we'll provide all the specialist equipment. If you can provide a reasonably working PC or laptop, then, well, you might need a pen. I don't know if you count that as specialist. Paper possibly, that's handy because we don't like you drawing on the walls. But generally speaking, that's it. You won't need to go forking out for a lot of stuff. A lot of the software we use, we can give you free license copies to use at home if you need to. If you're not so good at one area, i.e. networking, but you're good with a different one like graphics, will that massively affect your overall grade? No, not particularly, because there will be 16 to 18 units in that sort of ballpark figure of. So if you are not good at networking, which you will be because I teach it, so you'll be brilliant. But there's always some things you're not as good at. The one thing I wouldn't want to hear from anyone is, I'm not doing very well at that because I don't like the unit. Well, actually, that's a learn to grow up issue. Even if you don't like something, just do it the best you can. And if you are getting distinctions at other units, believe you me, generally speaking, people get merits and distinctions across the whole thing, if they're willing just to put a little bit of time in and a little bit of application and some homework. Do you do any apprenticeships? The college does apprenticeships. Computing as a department doesn't do the apprenticeships. But you could get an apprenticeship through the college. If you look at the college website, they do advertise them on there. Or you could come and do this course and then get a higher apprenticeship at the end of it, or a slightly better job. But yes, those things are available on the college website. Ding, ding, ding. How many students can the course take? Theoretically, I think we are probably looking at about 48, maybe maxing out at 72. It depends. There's always some space, so we can take quite a lot of students. Generally speaking, we try to keep the groups to about 20-ish, 20 to 22. Though a full group will often start with 24 in it. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect the quality of the education. It doesn't affect the experience. It just gives you a bigger pool of people who can be friends. Are there any clubs like esports ones? I think we will be running some sort of esports experience. We've got gaming chairs, we've got a room with an esports lab that is just for gaming, so we will be providing opportunities like that if enough people want to do them. We do also at times have two of the rooms open so that if people want to play games online during the lunch break or break, sometimes there is a room open so that you can do that. On the proviso, you don't leave it looking like a pigsty. As long as it looks tidy and you leave it as you find it, generally speaking, we're quite open to that sort of stuff. Is the course mainly boys or is there a split? It is predominantly boys. I've never had a split on the course. I've had some girls, but I don't know what a split is. Anyway, yes, it's predominantly boys, but we encourage girls to come and do the course because actually the girls who do it and do well in it always seem to end up with great careers. There's a real opportunity out there. There's a real positive attitude towards getting more women into IT. And if I've only got anonymous as a thing here, so I don't know if you're a boy or a girl, but if you are a girl, please come and talk to us and have a chat because we can give you endless opportunities. And it's really, really good. The girls who get through do ever so well in IT. I can't see any more questions after that. Does anyone have anything else they want to ask? Okay, well, thanks very much for coming up this evening. Thanks very much for listening. Please get on the college website and apply for the course. So even if you're not sure at this stage, get an application in. Because we are interviewing at this point. If we are limited to, say, 2 groups, then obviously we will take pretty much first come, first served. So if you're in and you've got your application in, even if you're not sure what your GCSE grades are going to be, get an application in, get an interview, have a chat with me, and we can get it sorted. Applications will close probably the day before we start teaching. However, as I said, if you're not in the list when we close, say we get 2 full groups, everybody's accepted the places and whatever else, then we would close it at 2 full groups. We are limited as to how many groups in the end will run. So just get an application in. Don't wait till the very end. Get it in now. Get chatting, get an interview, and at least then have an opportunity to be on the course. If you leave it too late, you might miss that. Places go very quickly generally. Okay, I can't. Oh, yes, there we go. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Hey, this is why I spend Monday evenings on this. It's great fun. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope it wasn't too long and tedious for you. And if anybody does have any more questions, take my email address there because you'll get directly through to me and I will answer them in any shape or form that I can do to help you out. Sign up, it's good fun, but thank you very much for being here.